20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey y'all. Woo woo woo.
He's still out of the camera.
I know. That's what I said.
Welcome to the Shine Your Light podcast. Brief intermission because my co-host, my friend, my guy, Ty the guy, you know what I'm saying, a man for the people, he ain't in the camera. He not in the camera, Jesus. I see his eye. I don't know if that's the third eye. Is that the third eye?
Maybe shift.
I think you're gonna have to come closer to
a little bit over. We can readjust. Let's go with the technical difficulties.
Yeah. So production, Jesus. But hey y'all, welcome to the Shine Your Light podcast. Of course, I am your host, LeChelle Hooks. Again, woo woo woo. We have an amazing show for you guys today. What it's gonna be about, I don't know. Typically on this show, we speak about the journey of life and the process of becoming your absolute best self, right? I truly believe that everything we learn in life, it's our responsibility to teach someone else. So that's typically what we do on the show. We simply teach what it is we've learned. Hey, y'all.
It's a little cramped over here, so we just gonna do move over.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be in the corner. Oh Lord, they got me on the ropes. They got me in the corner, Jesus.
It's symbolic.
No.
What's funny about before we actually went live is that she just did the prayer of her life.
What?
I never heard her pray so hard and so fast. She gonna need it today.
That was a fervent prayer.
Lord
Very,
Jesus.
very diligent.
Y'all co-host started off by lying to y'all because this podcast is about her today.
She gets nervous too.
Look at that. She on the drop.
It's all over already.
This podcast is definitely not about me.
Let's
But
have
Told
fun
y'all
today.
we went on the boycott that we've been talking about, and this is the results.
y'all,
All things work together for the good.
those who serve
It was
the
supposed to
Lord.
be a different show today, and it worked out very well. So
Mhm.
I'm glad she accepted. Today we are interviewing her.
Well, let's find out who y'all
Yeah.
is first, okay?
We're gonna
So
get
we
into all
got
that,
the
but I need to
Shine-
let them know she's not taking over none today. She can just sit back and relax because it's our time to shine and make it about her. So
But we do got the Shine Your Light crew here today. So we have the beautiful Simone.
she doing that thing again.
We got the amazing Tyke.
I'm gonna start with the hardest questions I can.
And we got Ty the guy in the building, y'all.
No, wait.
Look at her buttering me up. You know, like all that.
She gave no one else a sound.
I did it collectively.
It's really
I did it collectively, y'all.
Y'all know we act a fool when we together, so y'all got to excuse us sometimes.
That's crazy.
Yes, I don't know what we're finna talk about. What we talking about today, y'all?
You.
Okay, what y'all want to know? My birthday?
What's
What
your
y'all wanna
birthday?
know?
When
March
is your
1st.
birthday? March 1st.
And I feel like anybody who has a March 1st birthday, you're supposed to be the first to march in some area of life.
Don't ever do that again
What?
because my youngest daughter's mom is on the first, and that's right.
Of March?
Put a bad sound effect over there or something. A bad sound effect.
I don't think we got that.
Yeah.
Press it. Oh.
Yeah, that's cool. I can say that.
Okay, I tried to. There you go. All right, y'all. So yeah, it's gonna be a very unpredictable show, and I'm here for it. They say they got some questions for a sister.
A very
I hope
fun
I
and
got some
interesting
answers.
show. If she refused to answer any of these questions, we will Rick Ross her today. Just so y'all know,
gotta go
we
to the
will have
bathroom.
to go to the bathroom. So hopefully she stayed true and she answered these questions.
I will
Also,
always stay true.
in the middle of this as well, because this is live, if y'all have questions of y'all own that y'all would like to be asked, we would actually chime that in as well. So feel free. Anything you want to know about her, nothing is off limits. Nothing.
Who said
Nothing.
this?
She be in everybody else's business. Today we in hers. And truth be told, it's just going to be on some various topics of some things we have spoken about in the past or some things we haven't touched on in depth. But it's because, again, when it be others here, it's about everybody else. But today is truly about you. So
I just want to say, Taikisha, your curls is popping today. They probably can't see it on the camera,
Oh,
but
yeah.
his
My
curls
hair always it's covered.
is popping, y'all.
I always gotta cover
here she
my
go
hair.
again. It's time for her to shine her light. She talking about shining on his curls. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
Just
I
a little
can't help
water.
it, y'all.
A little
The
water.
water.
A little water.
Simone, you want to
I
go with
love
the
it.
effects today? We ain't letting her escape.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
She taking
Simone.
off.
Do your thing, Queen.
Y'all, I'm extra. I'm so excited.
Oh my goodness.
Make sure you know what's going on first. Now, don't make nothing weird.
Right. Before you say something. Oh,
See?
goodness.
I'm so
She
excited.
was just
y'all.
practicing.
Oh my God.
Which question should we start
What
first? Did we any
have
questions
I
yet?
done? Y'all
Simone
prepared
also
questions?
too. Could you watch out for anybody's questions?
Yep,
And
that's
Simone aside, so she.
Hop on
Ain't
here.
nobody got time for this, y'all.
All right.
All right, we gonna start off just with some just going right into the momentum. LeChelle.
Hey,
Actually,
how you doing?
let's call this show today
Jesus.
Breaking LeChelle Shell. Let's
Ooh,
do that.
I mess with it.
That's the title for today. Breaking LeChelle Shell.
Okay. I mean, it's a lot of stuff up.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what it's going to take.
Jesus, thank you for the bulletproof vest. I appreciate your covering.
2 prayers in one go, boy. This is hot seated for real.
Me,
So
my
let's
father.
start. Right
Ooh,
away.
I can't wait to
It's
put y'all in the hot seat. Ooh, I can't wait.
what have the single life done for you so far?
Ooh, honestly, it's brought me closer to God. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Yeah, because I always, and y'all, I'm gonna be super honest. I stay honest, in speaking about my journey. So I was definitely a woman who was looking for love in all the wrong places, right? And kind of, somebody had prophesied to me a long time ago, and it was like, all of your gifts, your husband holds the key to all of your gifts, right? So I was, even out of high school, I was like, where's my husband? Where's my husband? Where's my husband? And I think I was more so focused on being with a man and being with my husband rather than being my complete self. You know what I'm saying? Pursuing my purpose in life, being I was always a good mom, Lord. But you know what I'm saying? Just all of those other things and not just being someone's wife. So being by myself and being single has allowed me to really just see me and seek God, and build that relationship with my father. So instead of wanting that love from somebody else, like you know what I'm saying, I can feel the covering from my father, so I'm very, that's what singleness has gotten for me. I still want my man. Lord,
It ain't satisfied that desire yet, huh?
He does, but at the same time, I know he has something for me. Like there's a peace there, there's a wholeness there. I feel complete. I don't feel, you know what I'm saying, like half a person. But yeah, I feel like, he's building me. That entire season is building me, not just to be a daughter that he's proud of, but also to be, a wife to a wonderful husband one day.
What are some things carnally that you took
Y'all
from
ain't
it?
got, y'all ain't gonna ask.
I'm not single.
I know, but what if I got the same question for y'all?
Then
know.
when the time permit, for now, this is about you on the first half of the show. I mean, if it goes in that direction, then maybe later
Okay, what's the
we can
second
chime in.
half?
We'll kind of go into that.
Jesus, this is like a test of releasing control.
Mhm.
She got zero control today. I'm not going. I'm not going.
Okay, Lord.
My bladder full.
Jesus. Yeah, so that's what singleness has gotten me, y'all. But I am single, so if you know anybody, I'm just saying.
You don't want to.
There's
Okay.
nothing for that.
With that with that being said,
And then
leading it.
Simone is single too, so I would want to know what singleness has, done for you.
I got you right after
And-
you answer your question.
All right. And don't somebody say don't fall for that trap. I knew you weren't gonna do it. As I was like, I know what she's doing here. So
All right, y'all, go
with
ahead.
you being in your singleness and discovering God in that way, how do a man get your attention now?
Ooh, like somebody else asked me that too recently. Like, how? But honestly, I'm attracted to a man that's like very wise, knowledgeable, and a man who puts God first. Like that's the number thing. So I know a lot of very wise men. I know a lot of very successful men,
Mhm.
but they're missing that component. They're missing that relationship with God. They're missing that submissiveness. They're missing that level of discipline. So although I respect those men, I could never see myself being in that position in their lives. You know what I'm saying? So what would get my attention is how the spirit shines within him, like me seeing that light on him. You know what I'm saying? That God placed there. And that he worked, to receive that from God, because it does take work.
Do we have to be in right standing with God? Because there's a
Absolutely.
difference between a man of God and then a man in right standing with God, right?
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I know.
So
Oh, Jesus.
it's like, do he have to be in right standing with God?
Yes. Or I'll wait until
What do that look like?
I'll wait until he is. He needs to be in alignment with the Father. So he needs to be pursuing God. He needs to be pursuing his relationship with God. He needs to have a level of integrity, you know what I'm saying, to do things not just in front of everybody, but also behind closed doors. Like that level of discipline is so attractive to me. Why? Because I understand what it took within myself to obtain it. So anything less than that, I'm not entertaining. I'm not with it.
Wait.
And that's what a lot of men like, or just, yeah, go ahead, baby. That's what a lot of men like.
So
And that's
following
all
that
right.
up, and
y'all,
Simone,
y'all will get there. That's all right, but pursue discipline, y'all.
and Simone, I will actually want to know this too, from you. Like,
Ooh, I
what's
love
the
it. Go
difference
ahead.
between a man of God and a man that's in right standing with God?
A man that's in right standing with God, I'm gonna say my opinion, y'all, because I'm not all the way sure on this. So
Yes,
I'm gonna
you
say
are.
I feel.
Yeah.
I feel.
Let's
like-
negate everything she finna say after that.
But I feel like a man who's in the right standing with God is a man that is the closest reflection to God. He has God's favor. He is God's heart. He does the things of God on a daily basis, whether he wants to or not. I'm not gonna say he has no problem, because if you're flawless, I'm pretty sure you won't be here anymore. I.e. Enoch. So, but I'm not gonna say you're perfect. But in right standing is you're doing everything that God wants you to do. You're in His will,
Right.
versus just being a man of God. It's a little bit different, because just because you're a man of God doesn't mean that you are doing everything that God is telling you to do.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that you're in His will. That doesn't
Right.
mean that you're living your life after Him. That just means that you serve God.
Right. But did you truly serving God though?
Exactly.
All right.
Because to serve Him and to love Him is to do His will and His commandments.
So,
it's Saint Paul
Look at you,
7
you've been in that
times,
Bible.
get
Somebody
that.
been in that Bible. boy.
Yes, the Holy Spirit.
So my question is, would y'all accept a man without him being in right standing with God?
Why? Why
I
would
mean,
we do
it's
that?
possible. I mean, it's
Mm.
possible to meet somebody
Mhm.
that isn't all the way there. I think we
Mhm.
touched on this a little bit before that it might just need a little push. So it's like I feel like sometimes women want I'm ready now, man, and they're not ready. And it's no, not to either one of you, but in general, I feel like a lot of women just want a man to be completely there already, and then they're not even there.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like,
good. So for me, I need you to be at my level or better. I'm
Mhm.
4'11". I'm not strong enough to lift you up on that capacity. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I can't lift up a big grown man. I want my man to be able to pick me up, but I do agree with you. There are a lot of relationships that are absolutely like that.
right.
I don't think that's the type of relationship God has for me.
Yeah, same. I believe that because I have the goal to be who I need to be in God first, I believe that if God was to send me someone who I had to nudge along the way a little bit, that it wouldn't necessarily be a problem. My personal opinion, though, I definitely need you to be where you at, just because of the fact that I feel like if you're where you're supposed to be and I'm where I'm supposed to be, then that means that we can go a little bit further. Like our lives will probably be a little bit deeper when it comes down to biblical.
And I believe that's fair.
Clap back.
Oh, we flashing over there.
Got
No.
one more time,
Hey,
slide it
clap
over here.
yourself.
and I believe that's fair as a woman to require that a man be at a better place with God than you, because like I said, that's his position, that's his
Mhm.
role. And if he's not active in that role, it serves no purpose for you. So I think that that's fair. But we also need to also leave room for grace. We have to understand too what type of work this man is putting in, because sometimes, like he said, a man can be working, you know what I'm saying? And you can be prematurely saying, no, you want him to be ready, but he is doing the work, and sometimes it's at God's pace, not at the pace we would like it, even for ourselves, and let alone for the people outside of us. So I do believe that grace is in order in those moments. It's just that use discernment, to who's what.
Yes. And again, Tykeesh, I completely agree that, those situations absolutely occur. But I'm just curious, like, from the fellas, like, what are some examples of him not being all the way there? Like, does he love God? He believes in God, but he's struggling with a sex addiction. Does he love God? He believes in God, but he's a smoker or a drinker. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is y'all talking about? Or is he a man of God and he just doesn't study? He believes in God, but he doesn't study as much as she may study. What are some examples that y'all would say
I mean,
are
it's
acceptable for her to push him forward?
it's so many examples and so many things that a man cannot be mentally or spiritually where they just not there. But I would say just somebody that may be into God, or they're reading the word, they're praying, and they just don't have it all.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying that the man's not able to lead, but at the same time, they're just not there spiritually to lead the house, as y'all might want him to be.
I'm gonna leave the house. I'm gonna need you to be there. Okay.
Finish it.
Right, because that's exactly what's gonna happen. She's talking about leaving him when he already
All right. Like, I think that sometimes, though, that God might put these people in your life or that person's life for a particular reason, because it might be something that he might have to work out in your life that he's trying to work on, that he might send this person that might not be ready, but there's something that's in your life that he needs to get out, or something he needs to put into where he brings this different person, and they might be for y'all. But if y'all so quick to just knock it because they're not all the way right,
He don't have to
you might miss out on it.
He doesn't have to be perfect, but he does have to be, I don't know, perfect for me. But I think experience has a lot to do with our point of views on that as well. Every relationship I've been in, I've been the one trying to
we gonna get into all that.
man.
Stop it. Stop
Exactly.
it.
But I'm saying, Simone, you
There a
hear
cap
that
button on
story
there?
as well. So women who have gone through that are less likely to give room to that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's never been through that before might be a little bit more. And I'm very nurturing. Simone's very nurturing.
Yeah, and in all
Very-
honesty, y'all, I'm gonna be 100% honest, and I've said this before. they is making it hard for y'all, because to be completely honest, the reason why it will be a little bit hard for me to accept someone who's not where they need to be is because I have examples of great men. So like for me to kind of
Hold on,
take
can we get some claps for that or something?
I
You know,
am.
like
I know. I was gonna
let's
finish what I
celebrate
was
us
saying
for a
first.
moment. You know, let's just bask in that. We put in a
I
lot
was
of work.
going to put some. But yes, y'all, like I have examples of great men who are, striving to be the great man of God who's in right standing. So for me to kind of have to take a step back, it definitely would have to be something to where God would have to be like, okay, I did this for a reason. Just do what I said. Because if not, I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, thank you.
And that's so powerful that you said that, Simone, because I promise you, there's been a few male friends who have just been like, not all men are going to do this. And I'll be like, I know some, or those male friends are just in your life, but they really want to talk to you. No, I know several who do not, or aren't on that. Said we have some sitting with us right now. Amen. Want to do it? Okay, my bad.
Yes.
We're gonna go to the next question.
Who wrote these questions?
What does a good date to you look like?
Courtney said, I'm sick, y'all, but hey, family. Hey, Courtney.
She been complaining for the last 4 days. Ain't nobody that sick that long. Ain't nobody that sick that long. Shout out to you though. Bonus.
Message.
Because he tore you down to build you back up.
I got that from LeChelle, y'all.
Y'all funny. I think I missed that message, but go ahead.
So what does a good date to you look like?
So for me, I'm going to give you an example of a few dates that I would not consider a date. Like the movies is not a date. Anywhere where we can't.
I agree with that. I believe it's not a good first date for sure.
Yeah.
First date.
Anywhere that we can't sit and have a conversation with each other, and actually, or a club where the music is too loud. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere where I can't sit and talk.
First of all, any man or woman take y'all to a club on the first date. Run.
Fatality. Finish him.
But yeah, an example of a good first date to me is where we're truly getting to know each other. We're truly connecting. We need to be able to talk. I need to be able to dive in who you are. So it could be walking at the lake. It could be a nice picnic. It definitely can be dinner or brunch or something like that. But yeah, it has to be somewhere where we're able to have a conversation. I love the movies, I would definitely enjoy like a nice lounge. I love me a glass of wine or a glass of champagne. Absolutely. But I can watch a movie with anybody. I want to know who I'm watching a movie with. I love Simone, y'all.
It's supposed to be funny, y'all. Sentimental buttons.
My Care Bears.
Fire her to me.
That's crazy.
We out here shooting love. Go ahead,
we were
shoot that
talking
love.
about
Boom, boom,
dates.
boom, boom,
It was sentimental.
Okay, Care Bears. Go ahead.
McDonald's. We're going to McDonald's.
Yeah. What are some good first
we're not
dates?
going to
Like
McDonald's.
what are some
It
good
don't
first
have to be
dates?
experience. To me, we ain't going to McDonald's, y'all. I need some healthy eating first.
Why you don't consider it to be cute?
Right,
Like a guy like, let me take you to McDonald's. It may be come out right. He might have a sense of humor about it. She go get her off this.
He might be the manager. He got the discounts.
First of all, I'm
I want him
automatically.
to spend $100 on a
Facts.
rib.
That's a free meal.
I'm automatically assume this date is from the enemy because he clearly don't care about my health or high cholesterol.
Actually, the enemy gonna take you to the best places.
Right.
He trying
He
to
should have
get
took
you.
me to
Elsa's.
Subway.
Honestly,
Oh,
They
listen.
gonna take you to Elsa.
Yeah, probably. You're right.
See, because y'all not gonna
You gonna be
jump
like,
my girl, okay?
Right.
So
Not the pinky finger.
How you doing?
I
beautiful?
don't
Remember, he
believe
coming
that
in
it's
hard,
about
right?
That sound like 'em.
Right.
That sound like all of them.
How you doing,
Actually,
beautiful?
all of them.
She been on a few dates.
All of them.
That sound like
Right? I said hair could be.
I don't
You go to
believe it's
church,
about
huh?
it being a
Church.
fast food restaurant. I just believe it's about the
effort.
health of it. Like
Yeah. We
you
could've sat down
didn't
at
think
Subway or
about,
something.
you know, all the stuff, all the FDA, whatever
Exactly.
going on with
I
McDonald's.
just seen you
Exactly.
eating from.
You
never
don't care
mind.
about my life.
Say it again.
Never mind.
You don't care about my life.
That's crazy.
We could have took a walk at the lake, you know,
That's a good
talked,
one.
sat down at
Mhm.
Cousins or not
That's what
Cousins.
I'm about to say you would
Yeah.
do cousins, but not make that.
Subway. I would say I was gonna
You would
say
do that still,
Subway.
but not.
Subway
Mac.
is
It's the
healthier.
same
Subway.
thing.
Them people be
Subway?
fooling.
Because it
Yes.
wasn't about, because
But
it's
they
not
had-
about it being a fast food restaurant or something quick. It wasn't about that. It
She
was
can
about
go to
the health
McDonald's and
behind
get a
it.
salad.
Yeah. My preference
Do you
though
trust
is
McDonald's
if
salad?
my preference
This
would
ain't about me.
be-
This is about LeChelle and breaking her through her shell.
Accountability.
Oh, she getting better over there. That's great. You're gonna do that on my go.
please, y'all, please don't take me to Cousin Subway or McDonald's on the first date.
You're
Cousin
gonna have
Subway. That's a whole
You're
restaurant.
gonna have the inbox as soon as you leave out
That's
of here.
hybrid.
Like we can
Take her to Cousin
we can
Subway.
do better than that. We can do better than that. There's some really nice
Black Arnold's.
restaurants downtown, but as long as we can sit and talk, I'm cool with that. And I love walking by the lake. So doing that or having a picnic at the lake. I literally have a picnic basket in my trunk right now with a blanket.
That'll be dope, but I ain't into all the ants and insects and all that be getting on my food. I really come there to eat.
Oh yeah, you gotta be prepared.
know,
every
so-
day.
Constantly keep
You gotta be
scratching your
prepared.
Right. You know, hitting yourself. I think I got Tourette's or something.
Right.
Nobody got time.
I'm just not a nature person. When I'm outside too long, I just. I'm
Who
good.
date is this?
I'm good.
No, just
Sorry.
kidding.
Right.
It's fine.
You're right. You're right.
I'm just kidding.
It's
I
working. It's
am-
working, bro. It's working.
I'm
Trying to
definitely a nature
distract.
person. Yeah, if I'm taking McDonald's, y'all. Take me somewhere that we can talk and then maybe after we can go enjoy some good music or after we can go to
Yeah,
the
some
movies
good
or something like
vibes,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and just vibe together. Absolutely.
So speaking of a lot of those experiences that you had, what is your
can't speak about none
perspective?
of my experiences,
And we
Jesus.
finna get into that. So what is the
Traumas or trauma? No. okay.
what is the perspective?
Emotional damage.
That's I'm gonna have emotional damage.
You was thinking nothing about that past, Lord. We leaving the past behind. You look back. I ain't trying to turn.
we gonna
into dust,
dibble
Jesus.
dabble. We ain't gonna die, but we gonna dibble dabble.
Yes, Lord.
So speaking of those type of experiences of dates and things like that, and the few dates you have been on, what is your perspective about the dating pool? Like, what do you think about it?
People are hurt. People are really hurt right now. You know, a lot of the actions that come from these women, a lot of actions that come from these men are all stemmed from trauma. Men aren't treating women the way that they're supposed to because they're scared of being taken advantage of. Women aren't operating, you know, in that feminine energy and that softness and that because they're hardened. Their hearts are hardened because of the trauma that they've experienced. So it's a whole bunch of hurt people out here that have that emotional damage.
A lot of
Emotional damage.
Yes, that aren't open to love. People aren't open to love. And when you're a person who is ready to love and ready to receive love, you can, I love you guys so much. You can see past the malarkey. You know what I'm saying? You can see when it's not genuine. And you can, I think that's that discernment in the Holy Spirit, but you can feel that ulterior motives, you know, that some people have. But even that, you know, we don't judge a man, we don't judge a person, you know, it's them bad spirits in high places. So I don't look at the person as being a bad person. I just know that person isn't ready to receive me because he has blockage from, you know, the trauma that he 40-year-old babies.
What do you think about the dating pool?
Yeah.
Trash.
Ooh, trash, right?
I would much rather work on myself and wait for Jesus to send me my person. And even then, he is going to have to tell me a couple times. Okay, confirm.
And see, his people are the ones that are working on themselves now, right? And maybe if everybody work on themselves and then come to one of my dating events, and then no, that ain't.
I see she tried to throw that in
Lord.
there.
Won't give me.
Yes, Lord.
Okay. So
I love that, Simone. I love that.
diving back into something we kind of touched
don't
on a
know
little
how
bit
to swim.
earlier is
Just diving and stuff.
are you still kind of dealing with some of your past traumas from past relationships?
I'm so lowly, y'all.
That's there we go. That was perfect right there.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not lonely, y'all. I'm definitely not lonely at all in way, shape, or form. It just felt I don't know to say that on point, I guess. I do want my man and I do want that companionship for sure. And y'all be busy, so y'all don't be kicking it with me. What was the
She
question?
be everywhere besides stuff places she know we would like to be. It'd be like a
Y'all
large
need to come out to our
community.
shows.
She be in the village.
Not the
Ooh.
village.
Lord, I don't like the wilderness like that. I don't. I am a house. We can leave it at that.
Right. Know the rest.
Man, I
speak around.
I wish there was a button
Karaoke.
for that.
What
I
the
do
man
want
doing
my
on that
partner,
night?
though. I do want my partner, but I'm not in a position. A lot of people they date out of loneliness and they pick anybody.
Mhm.
But I thank God for His covering because I'm in a season where I'm not picking nobody. God is gonna pick for me. Like I'll probably say no to him the first time, but right, you probably will too, Simone. And then
No, I'm gonna
She
keep saying
avoided
no.
the answer.
I'm gonna say no more than one time.
exactly. Promise. I promise.
I'm gonna
And
ask
if
this
God
question one
told
more
him
time.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Don't y'all be
What was the
saying no
question?
and then say "woe is me" at the same time.
No, I mean,
I don't.
I'm just
you
throw
gonna
that
be
out
saying
there.
"woe is me" if you say
I'm-
yes to the wrong person.
I'm saying
don't.
15 years from now, y'all better not be talking about "woe is me" and God and send 5 different right men to y'all. And
Fine,
y'all keep
15
saying no.
years.
No,
Like
God
I
is only gonna
said.
send one.
Right.
After that, he gonna let you figure it out.
Come on, man.
So y'all
Just
better get
me.
it right.
But
Just
that
me.
is why I plan on staying in the spirit. So my spirit can tell
Exactly.
me when this is the move, this is the time. I need God to
Exactly.
confirm.
We jumping
that
ahead here.
first,
Let's
you
back
know?
up just a little
Nope, that was right on time.
The
Simone,
question-
give yourself a hand clap.
The question specifically
You heard the
was,
question. I like what she's going with this.
are you still dealing with some past traumas in past relationships?
Honestly, I'm not. I do feel like the past traumas because I've dealt with domestic violence. I've dealt with all type of stuff, y'all. So Jesus. I've dealt with some stuff that was probably supposed to take me out. And made me a very, very strong woman today. But those things built me and equipped me for what's ahead. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, I've forgiven each one of those people. Like we said, I'm not angry with those people. We'll never kick it or nothing like that, but I'm not angry with those people. I've forgiven them. But I kind of know what to look out for now. I can feel when it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. You know what I'm saying? I can
See,
feel
just
when
don't
it's a
let me-
man that's not on my level, spiritually or any other way. I can feel that now. And now I'm not in a space to try to change a person. It's not my job to change you. If you haven't given yourself to God and allow God to do what He needs to do for you to become the best version of yourself, I'm sure not gonna take up that job. It's not my role. You know what I'm saying? So
A beautiful thing that I'm gonna split them up in a minute. Don't worry about it. A beautiful thing, something that God gave a woman, especially a wife specifically, is something that you said, right? That you can't change him, right? But there's a particular scripture that says when you are dating someone who's kind of like an unbeliever, and we're talking about someone who's already married and coming to Christ, so this is a
different.
whole different thing.
Yeah.
If you are in a relationship, be in Christ first. So being married and being with an unbeliever, the Bible says how the wife can win the husband by her conversation, which is her influence over him, just her lifestyle, the way she talks, the way she carry herself, those things can influence a husband. So you cannot change the man, but you can influence him to grow, which is kind of like a watering, an increased type of example. So it was a beautiful thing, and kind of what she said, with not focused on changing a man, but influence is very much more present.
Amen. Clap.
So what was healing looking like for you? Like, how strenuous was that process? Like, what was your pushback from a lot of those things?
So for me, looking back, I kind of looked at it like I was suffering in silence for a long time. You know, if I look at it on the outskirts, that's kind of what it looked like. But what it really was God fighting my battles while I was quiet, right? So it was like men that really tried to take me out, you know, in different ways, and all different type of things. And I wasn't going around being like, oh, you know, he did this and this is a bad man. I was just silent. I was silent. And while I was silent, God was working on me. You know, I literally gave the situation to God. And I think God was like working that thing out. And now looking back, I can see how he worked it all out. What you dish out into the universe comes right back to you, you know. So I didn't do anything to deserve the wrongdoings, you know, that were put on me. I wasn't a cheater, you know. I didn't do anything to deserve those things. I didn't do anything to deserve somebody putting their hands on me, you know, that was over 6 feet tall. But you know, to God be the glory. To God be the glory. So yeah. People would not have survived in any way, shape, or form. But those things made me a very wise woman. And I just thank God that he got me through it, you know. And I thank him for the things that he's about to get me to, because I can feel it, you know. So, and I thank him for bringing, you know, good people into my life, great people into my life of purpose. I love her. Yeah, feel this love. Yeah.
So at any point of those relationships, could you say that you did anything wrong?
Yes, getting into it in the first place was wrong, because I promised
Accountability. Accountable.
absolutely. So all of those relationships, I was definitely dating out of loneliness. All of those relationships, I promise you, God told me no. And I literally saw ahead of time how those relationships were going to play out. Like I saw it ahead of time. And I was like, I just brushed it off, and I walked through it, and it laid out. It was exactly how I saw it going. So that taught me how to listen to the voice. It taught me how to listen to my intuition, and to, you know, to pay attention to that going forward. So yeah, I don't know, y'all. I wasn't supposed to be in like relationship in the first place. And I also should have gotten out quicker. I definitely should have gotten out quicker.
The goal is growth, y'all.
Yes,
Whenever
exactly.
God takes you through something multiple times, majority of the reason is going to be because he wants you to grow in that area.
Right.
So never look at it like, oh, you know, woe is me, I'm just going through this over and over and over again. If God is purposefully putting you in the same cycle over again, your focus needs to be, what is it in this that he wants me to get out of these situations? What do I need to learn out of this? So anytime you go through things like of that magnitude and you learn something and you grow from it, that's always a positive thing.
Love it, Queen. Give yourself a hand clap. Is how to listen to that voice. Yeah, because they weren't situations I would have been in if I would have just been obedient. It was disobedience that caused me to be in those situations. So I'm listening now, Lord. That's why I said I'm in my listening season, Tykeesh. Remember? You said it too, remember? Last show.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't think
I don't think you put it in
That- I want to say y'all.
Yeah.
One of them.
And also when we learn lessons, it's our responsibility to teach other people about them. So yeah, all that good stuff.
If you can name one flaw about yourself, like what would it be, and what do it look like you working on it?
Right. Sometimes I get lipstick on my teeth. Oh, you ain't talking about that?
No,
That
we ain't gonna do that.
More
We-
internal. More
we-
internal.
We ain't gonna do
So
that.
one of my number one flaws.
She do. But Dana, before a lot of the shows, she have done that before though. She would give you this big smile, like, "Hey, do you see anything?" Like, and then
Oh,
go
for
to the bathroom
sure.
for 40 minutes,
Yes. 40 minutes.
come
Ain't
back
nobody got
spraying, and
time.
that's a whole nother
Um,
thing, though.
Yeah, Jesus. My number one flaw that I can identify over my entire life has been operating in what's the word, Lord? It's on the tip of my tongue. Operating in like is it compulsive or like doing things without thinking necessarily? What is
Expedient.
no
measures. That's what they
operating in? It was just on the tip of my tongue. But doing
I
things
have
without
it in my
thinking
head. I
it
can't.
through.
It won't come out my mouth. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like a man, what is it called?
It was on the
It's
tip
like
of my
acting
tongue.
out.
saving
It's kind
nobody.
of like acting out of emotion in the moment.
Impulsive.
Like, yeah.
Being impulsive. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So being impulsive and just like yeah, because I've always been like a risk taker. I don't know what you just said, Tykeesh, but
Is
Oh,
that a
Lord.
woman trait?
I
Impulsiveness.
know there's some
Accountability.
Feminine.
Accountable.
Yes, it
It's
is.
more
Yes, it
probable
is,
in
y'all.
women
Yes, it
than
is.
it is
It's
men,
in
for sure.
women way more than it's in men.
So now I've stepped back, and I kind of like analyze things before I make a decision, because God leads and the enemy pushes. So now I kind of I take my time with my decision making. If I feel God telling me to move, okay. But it's okay to take a step back and just like identify the positives and negatives and all of that good stuff. I'm not jumping into a relationship this time. I'm gonna really take my time. What they eating? It sound good. Somebody's eating over there. But yeah, I think I was very impulsive growing up, especially. I wanted everything right now, and now I've gained a level of peace in the moment and in the present. Yeah. But that's me, y'all. So that's yeah. I've been through things that should have killed me, but I'm still here, and now I'm motivated to find out what's in the next person's journey. What did the next person go through that was trying to kill them that honestly built them, in the person that they are today. So that's what we're gonna be speaking about on the podcast. A lot of people's journeys and things they've learned in life. Yeah.
So-
Takeisha's hilarious, y'all. Hilarious. A whole comedian up
I
here.
got a boiling question that's down on the inside of me.
First of all, do y'all know my husband or not? Because what are you up here for?
Burning question
Bae.
for all the
Bae.
inquiring minds out there because it was so publicly displayed. The other day, you posted on Facebook about the conversation that you had with a guy that was interested in you. And
Which one, Jesus?
when I read the comment that said you have to know him for a year,
Oh yeah, I need to come on.
I need some background knowledge in that one.
Unless listen, he needs to come with references. So either I need to be introduced to him by someone that I know and trust, and they're like, this is a really good person, you should get to know him, or we need to have some type of friendship built already for a year or two. You know what I'm saying?
For a date.
Unless for a date. Absolutely.
For a date.
A date.
A year before
Or two.
a date.
But if God gives me a confirmation like no other, you know what I'm saying, then that's cool. That's great. I'm going to listen to my Father. you know. But anybody else, they're just eliminating themselves. You know how many people be like, you know, let's go kick it, like kick rocks.
You know, time is short, you know.
Time is
Time
of
is
the
short.
essence. Time is important.
They can't get to know you on that date. Because I mean, at that point, when you go
That's
on
what
y'all
he
first
said.
date, when y'all go on y'all first date, he already know you. So it's like, if he known you for a year
I don't
before
know
y'all
that,
go on
man.
y'all first
I
date,
don't
y'all
talk
have
to
talked about a
strangers.
lot of stuff.
I don't talk to strangers.
So you know what? Where the buttons at? Which one of them?
Anybody.
I just want to know, because it's like that's how I felt. I'm like, if a person knows you or gets to know you for a whole year, so it's like, what's the purpose of that first date?
Well, we're building a friendship. Oh, for me, having me as a friend versus having me in a dating aspect is a very different energy.
Sure, definitely. It's just I guess my confusion is coming in as in, if this person, if they know and you know that his intent is to date you, why that year span before the date?
So honestly,
Since
I feel
you
like,
know,
right. I understand what you're saying. So for me, like I said, if God tells me yes, then okay, we can bypass all of that. But I need to be like, I need to feel safe. You know what I'm saying? So for me, establishing that friendship makes me, you know, feel safer about opening that door to a person, because if we're going on a date, that means I already see there's a possibility for us to have more. I'm not just gonna go on a date. Listen, I will be dating every day if I'm just saying yes to a date to a random person that I don't know. Have you seen my inbox?
I mean, no, but so
Or any woman's.
That's a good one right there.
Like seriously, any woman's inbox today.
Men
So,
too.
look,
Oh, trust me, I know some of my guys. Exactly, I know some of my guys send me their inboxes.
Yeah,
I didn't
like,
realize what y'all
Women
go
are more
through.
bold.
Yeah, they are
They
bold.
are so aggressive.
You would be surprised.
They are so aggressive, and I didn't realize that. So
So
not saying I'm high and mighty or anything like that. I am a good catch, as all of y'all are. But no, I ain't just gonna be saying yes on a date with these random people. I don't know you.
all right, so just for everybody out there, y'all got a year
Or two.
before the date, and then after the date, y'all got 6 months.
Tell me if
I thought she said 6 months before.
Is that what that's?
I thought she was
That's
reading
I
Stephen
just
Harvey
wanna
not too
know.
long ago, and I thought it was 6 months.
Y'all got
my
a
And-
year
timeline.
and 6 months after the first date.
but guys' timeline is different.
Emotional damage.
But tell
No
me,
McDonald's
Simone.
either. So
Simone,
get that
like,
out.
real, like be real, be very real. Women know ahead of time if
This
she
is
would
the
date that
thing.
man or not. Yes or no? I know
Yes,
right
so-
away.
The
Get on
the
her side.
problem is the problem in this no, the problem in this is how I'm viewing this is the manipulative man that's going to come in, right? Because if he knows that
I
you
got a
have
year.
this, and in
Yeah.
his mind, he only got to display to you a certain person for a year for you to go on a date with him. So if he's going to be that person, he's going to be that person regardless. Because what I also have learned about men is that they are conquerors. God created them to be conquerors. So all you did was set in place a challenge for them.
Mhm.
And just because you said it there does not mean that that is going to necessarily weed out those people who,
Right.
A
you
lot of
know, is
men-
like that.
a lot of men
Because
look
I
at
used to be a
me as
historic
challenge.
conqueror.
Yeah, like
Yeah, a lot of men look at
Historic.
me as a challenge, and a lot of men probably would see you the same way as a challenge. So I agree with that.
this
And
is a
that's
challenge you will not win.
I'm trying to tell
You
you,
will not
they'll get
win.
their
I love
feelings
this
hurt. Like
phrase.
You will not win.
Exactly.
That was the hardcore Simone coming out. You will not win this one.
All facts. I felt that thing too.
So women, let's redirect this into this thing. So LeChelle, with that being said, right, what do you have to offer a man?
Completeness, wholeness, union, love, catering, friendship.
Here she go with that. Why he even put
Partnership.
that?
I went with the vibe that she
Spiritually
was
and
giving out in the
carnally.
moment.
Oh my goodness. Every child, I'm so Lord. Oh my goodness. Gracious. Golly,
What
make
about
my life.
openness? What about understanding? No, I'm just I
I
know
mean,
what you
isn't
meant.
that
I know
a
what you meant.
hard
That's
thing?
just
Isn't that a
We just want to hear it.
What about happiness? I think that's the most important trait. One of the most important is happiness.
Peace.
I need you to be happy on your own. I ain't trying out here trying to make you laugh and make you happy. I need you to be happy. I'm making you
Because
laugh, though.
peace and happiness, y'all.
And one of
Let's
the
talk about
one of
it.
the most beautiful
Let's maintain
things
it
also a man love about a woman is that when he can be open and honest with her without the reaction,
I'm a
you know what
safe
I'm saying,
space.
but more with understanding. I
Mhm.
think that a lot of women fail to realize that as well,
I think
which is
that's
why
the
men just
number-
stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the number one thing men are attracted to with me is I think they see me as a safe space and they know there's not going to be, I keep kissing this thing, and they know there's not going to be any judgment with me or anything.
She lonely, y'all. Y'all heard? Y'all heard?
Where's my man?
Did say that.
My man. My man's gonna get me though. He's gonna get me. He's gonna see me. A lot of men see me physically, they don't see me spiritually. He's gonna see me. I'm waiting on that man that's gonna see me. So
Okay. And with this next question, just because I want to, because I know these last two is kind of going to be a exhortation down there on them. So this one is, what is love to you? And you cannot use God.
but God is love. Why would
We
I not
understand
use
that.
love?
We understand it, but there's
It's
levels to love. That's the
sacrificial.
ultimate.
It is. It's levels to love. Love is absolutely sacrificial. Loving somebody so much that you'll put them, and their happiness and their well-being before your own. You know what I mean? Yeah, love is a covering. Love is pure. You know what I'm saying? Pure intentions. Love is strong. Nobody can cut through something. Nobody can get in between, a love that's factual, a love that's true, a love that's of God. Amen.
All right. So an inner question within that, do you believe love is a choice or a feeling?
I mean, we had a whole argument and debate about this that we probably won't agree about right now. But love is a choice or a feeling. It's both.
She is trying to manipulate.
It's both.
Everything.
Though.
Accountability.
You ain't gonna do that though.
Accountable.
Gotta choose a side.
How could it not be both? You have so you can
'Cause I
fall
believe
in
love is
love
one more
with
than the other.
someone. You can fall in love with someone and have that feeling.
Mhm.
But you might be in a relationship with somebody else. So you have a choice, you know what I'm saying, to be with that particular person or not, right? So, or you can fall in love with someone and this person doesn't have everything that you want. So you choose not to maintain it. You choose not to pursue it. You don't choose that person. Some people choose finances over love Jesus, right? So yeah, I think it's both.
You go ahead. I want to hear from you. I know she's gonna try to escape it, but we still gonna dive into it for sure.
Because my follow-up question,
because they both is not the same, because feeling is always temporary and choice is different. So
but I still feel like it's both though.
You can experience love within both, but one love is more of one than the other, and that's what I'm saying.
But they're both.
No, you can
if it's more
experience love
one
within
than
both.
the other, then it got to be some of both.
No, you can experience love within both, is what I'm saying. But love is one more than the other.
I don't believe love is just a choice. I do believe love, there's a feeling of love as well. Absolutely. There's absolutely a feeling of love. And a lot of marriages, y'all fall in and out of love. That's not going to be my marriage. But y'all fall in and out of love, and y'all choose commitment. Y'all choose to stay together, right? Right or wrong.
So I have a question to you and what you just said. So
I don't agree with that.
Let's say God sent you your husband, right?
And it's not going to be a union that I'm going to fall in and out
You
of
don't
love
know
with.
that. You don't know that.
I do know that.
So let's say
I would never claim that.
Remember, God sends us what we need, not necessarily what we want. The
But he
need
can do
would
that
over
too.
supersede
But
what
he'll
you
send
want.
you what you want
He
too.
will send what you
your
want,
heart's
but he will
desires.
give you more of what you need. So that man will be more of
will
what
give
you
you what you
need than
want
what you
too.
want. That's a guarantee.
You don't know that.
However, it's true, because Bible supports it.
God is going to give me what's perfect for me. That's what I believe.
God won't
and
give
that's
you a
what I'm
perfect
holding.
man.
What's perfect for me?
But that's
He's
what
gotta
I'm
give me
saying.
what's- I don't
Only
believe there
God
are any
knows
perfect
what's
men.
perfect
I'm
for
telling you guys, it's wrong.
Right. That's perfect.
I mean, if we speaking on the knowledge or the conversation about God, God is going, like you said, God's going to give you what's perfect for you, right? But He
Absolutely.
knows that what's perfect for you, so He might send you something, like He was saying, that
Jesus.
it might be something that come with that, because God knows what's perfect for you. Not we don't know what's perfect.
Exactly.
God knows us more than we know ourselves.
He's gonna give me something that's a perfect match for me. Absolutely, I
Yes,
agree with
it can
that.
be a
And I'm
match.
gonna choose to love a person. I'm also gonna have that feeling that's attached to love.
So what happens
consistently.
when God send them and you no longer feel the love, right? Maybe
That's
about
not
3
gonna
years later.
happen. That's not gonna happen.
It's possible.
It's very possible.
That's
So I'm
not-
asking you, what are
but
you going to do
I'm
in
not
that
gonna
moment?
claim
Let's
that,
you,
though.
you don't have to
There
claim
are-
it. It's
listen,
I put the if
there
on it. It's
are-
hypothetically.
So listen, two type of relationships, and I know how y'all feel about this already. We will never agree on this because I'm never gonna claim that for my life.
Mhm.
There are a couple that's been together for 50 years. There's another couple that's been together 50 years. This couple has fallen in and out in love. This couple over here has said, I've never stopped loving
They're a
her.
liar.
I don't believe that.
I believe they.
Just because you've
sure they're a liar.
experienced it doesn't mean I will.
The lion's share of human civilization have experienced that because
But
we
some
are
have
vessels.
not.
I'm saying, but
I will
because we
be
are
that
vessels,
1%.
have you been happy your whole life?
I will be the 1% that I am in love with my partner. Will we go through things? Absolutely. Will we get past those things? Absolutely. Do I believe I can only pick one partner, one person, and for it to be a person I'm going to fall in and out? No, absolutely not. That's not for me. That's for other people. And a lot of times what you believe is what you draw towards you. I will not accept that as a possibility for my union. I'm not going into it with a thought process that I'm finna fall in and out of love with this person. I understand the logic behind it. I don't receive or accept that for my future.
So you wouldn't say that that's a form of denial because
no, what? It's a form
I'm
of
saying
that's
that,
what I believe.
So, but I'm
What's
saying
for me
like
is for me.
openness matters, right?
Yes.
We have to examine possibilities because if you walk into something with 100% surety of this and it doesn't pan out that way, you can self-sabotage the moment. So that's what I'm saying.
The surety for my union will be that God will get the glory. That would be the surety. The surety is that this is the person God has for me. God, I don't believe God is going to give me a person that we'll go through things. Absolutely. We're going to grow through those things. We may not like each other every once in a while, but it doesn't mean we're not going to love each other.
We forget that David was a man that God has chosen to be king, right? To lead his people.
Absolutely.
Right? A man after his own heart, God's own heart, right? You know what David did in the middle of all that?
Right.
Committed adultery, he committed murder, and he lied.
David's story is not my own.
I understand that, but God leaves us
LeChelle's
examples
stories.
to understand how things are. So your expectation, right, again, would kind of bear the moment is what I'm saying. It would be hard to identify that this may be just something this man is going through, but that doesn't mean he's not made for you. You know, that does not mean that he wasn't God sent. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're talking
like,
about
that's what I mean.
a perfect man. You're talking about
you're talking about a perfect man.
No, I said perfect man. I don't believe a perfect man exists. I believe there's plenty of good men that they may have existed in the world at one point, but I don't think they're here today.
I believe it. It's just rare. It's just rare. You probably find 1, 2, or 3. It was perfect. It was perfect peoples of
the Bible, but
yeah.
I don't, personal opinion, because
yeah,
we can't call them up. So
yeah. I mean, I
don't know.
if y'all out there, we got social media.
We're gonna flash the number on the bottom of the screen.
1-800 perfect.
And I need you to put your name so I can go ahead and go on and pray and ask Jesus if any of that was meant for.
They're gonna be like, I would be perfect, but I did trip that girl that one time in junior high. Lord. Yeah, but what's for me is for me. What's for y'all is for y'all. We'll agree to disagree on that one, which we always will. We've had this debate.
So with that being said, right?
Hush, tight.
I do want to talk.
You go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So my question after that is,
to Simone, go ahead.
No.
It's about her today.
Relax. No. So my thing is, so we're talking about love, right? Your initial statement before he said not to use God is love. Let's even talk about what God is when it comes to love, right? God chose after everything that we do on earth to still die for us, right? Correct. Which is like one of the perfect loves, right?
Mhm.
So my question is, when y'all have those moments, and you said that you don't believe that y'all will never love each other, are you still going to be able to cook food for him in that moment,
Absolutely.
or are you? I mean, it's easy to say that. It is very easy.
It's not hard for me to say it because I'm a natural
And me knowing you, I
caterer.
would probably say
I
that you
am a
wouldn't have
na-
that type of problem.
Exactly.
But that still is a choice that you're making.
Right.
Right,
That's
but
what
So
I'm
in
we
that
won't
moment,
just because we're upset with each other or have an argument doesn't mean we're gonna fall out of love with each other or not love each other in that instance. I don't know why we're still talking about it because I promise you, like I will never receive that.
I was ready to
will
move on from
never
it
receive
because
that.
maybe 10 years down the line, you'll, like I said, when that time, well, actually, let's go into this next question first,
Okay.
because this kind of is like a inter thing in that. So
I know. I mean, I've seen the ones. I look at the ones that have been married 20, 30, 50 years, and I compare the two. A lot of people honestly just stayed in it because they wanted to keep somebody by their side, or they didn't want to start over, or they weren't with the right person to begin with, and they went through, a lot of those things. But the people, when you find your match and that's your soulmate, there's no lack of love. In my opinion, it shouldn't be. In my opinion, a lot of people are in business situations for a marriage and not like true love.
definitely more in the modern
Yeah, I don't want that.
reasons to marry
Keep
is
that.
definitely a transaction.
You know how
at
many
this
men
point.
have said to me, "Aren't you tired of struggling on your own? If you had a man to do, you could do this and that." Like, I'm good. I'm fine. I'll be all right. You know what I mean? Like, no, I will never be with a person for any type of like outwardly benefit. That is not a trait that's in me.
Shout out Courtney, sis. She said, "A willing mind is a winning mind."
Amen.
Come on now.
Amen.
And she's one of the most willingest people as far as women that I've known in my life. Like I always tell her she's going to make a good wife someday. For
Shout
sure.
out, shout out.
Bonus. Okay, so one of the last questions
Thank you,
is
Lord.
what does waiting on God looks like in sending you your husband and in your wait, how do you hear God's voice? As far as, do you date and just go off of the feeling, or are you waiting for God to directly tell you, this is?
I mean, do we ever really know, Lord? But for me, in the wait, what I believe God is doing for me is getting me in alignment and in position to receive my husband. So wherever my husband is, for some reason, we're not in alignment with each other. When we become in alignment with each other, that's what I believe, and what God told me is when we're going to come together. As far as hearing God's voice, like we can seek God, and and that's what I do through prayer and fasting and all of that good stuff, in my alone time. But God will speak in a crowded room. You know what I mean? God, He's gonna speak when He speak. We can have plans all day long. Like, are you gonna tell me, Lord? But I believe just like He can confirm a job for you, He's gonna confirm that person that's gonna be in your life. He's gonna confirm it. Like, what? You know what I mean? So I feel like when you know. And as far as dating, if I don't feel the desire to date a person, and he could be the best person in the world, but if I know that's not my husband, I'm not going to waste his time or mine. No. But we can kick it. We all go kick it. And I always tell people, if you like me, we can kick it.
And I ask that because I do hear a lot of women say, as far as them waiting on God, and that's why it's like, what do that mean when you wait? Because are you waiting for God to tell you verbally, very directive, like, look, this is your husband,
Right.
or do you date and just go according to the feeling? You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
And say, well, more this is kind of like God, because the first aspect of that is like, do you if you're waiting for God's voice and direction, do you leave yourself open to possibilities of options because of the fact that you never know?
Right.
Or do you seek that in dating?
Well, I will say I absolutely have a crush on somebody. I've had a crush on somebody for a long time.
Childish.
He's absolutely a man of God, and he's absolutely in alignment with the Father. But anybody else, I just don't feel like I line up with them. I would get on their nerves. Why? Because we just don't line up. And I'm not a person that, just get on people's nerves or nothing like that. But if I want us to pray, I want us to eat a certain way, I want us to, do certain things, that is going to get on his nerves because it's not in alignment with his daily activities already. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be with somebody that we can do those things together.
All right, now that she came out, and said that, and I'm glad,
But I do have a crush on somebody. So
if there's anyone out there who knows that LeChelle has a crush on you, I would like for you to inbox one of the three.
He doesn't know.
Right, and we can set the date up.
Never shoot my shot.
I was just going to say,
I will never shoot my shot.
She would never shoot her shot, but I can shoot her shot for her.
Right. She just said the other day, right, for me to set her up a date.
But
that'll be perfect. That'll be perfect.
I'm not reneging on it, but you got to know the person that you think I would be right for. I'm not going.
But that's why I need to talk to him. Let me know, so I need to talk to him and make sure that he lines up.
So again, if there's anyone out there who feels like
you are the one
they're being led,
if the spirit is leading you,
we're gonna see. We're gonna find out. We're gonna dig a little bit more. Eventually, we're gonna get this out of the know.
This is my first crush.
The last question. Do you have a time, right, imagined for you that you would be married by?
No.
And what happens if you supersede that time?
I thought I was going to get married at 25. I've superseded that time. So no, I'm not going to put a time limit on God. I know in my spirit, I'm not with my husband for some reason. We're not in alignment with each other. That's it. And that's all. When we're in alignment with each other, it's going to be like a magnet. Like everybody, God told me not only will we be able to feel it, but everybody in the room will be able to feel it as well.
I agree with do not put a timing on God. That's one of the worst things that you can do.
Now, after we meet, it might be 6 months.
She's going to put it to Steve Harvey's time.
It might be 6 months.
After the year.
But the reason why I say that is because whoever he is, ain't nobody got time. Honestly, that's just like putting a thing to the people I wouldn't date. But
that's crazy.
No, whoever my husband is, we both believe in marriage. And once we see each other and have that confirmation from God that it is each other, like we good. We can date each other while we're married. Like he's gonna believe in that, and I already believe in that. So I already know whoever my husband is, it's not gonna be we together for 5 years. No, that's not.
How do you feel about a husband and a wife having separate homes and stuff like that?
Come on now, you already know how I feel about that. I'm good with my baby. I'm be with my king. I'm not gonna drive to your house, cook you breakfast, and then go to the crib.
We saying, live together, but they also have a separate home. It's kind of like a getaway in a sense, like for a place of sanctum. Right. But it's saying like, so he want to just be there by himself for the moment.
That's what you gonna do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, because looking at that moment, right, when you have your ups and downs, because you're gonna have a down moment. I feel like
a very down one
to
too.
Separate sometimes would be very beneficial.
Well, I think that's more so y'all taking trips with y'all friends, having a guy's day with your friends, or your sessions with your own therapist, or your spa days by yourself. I think there'll be plenty times where you get that recharge as a person. I'm not a woman. I'm very like, I'm not gonna say clingy, but I'm very like an affectionate woman. My love language is definitely touch. I like to hold hands. I like to be on my man. I like to massage my man, massage his feet and all of that good stuff. But I'm not gonna suffocate my man. You know what I mean? Like we're still gonna be individuals and have that freedom, absolutely. But he's gonna desire me in a sense where, but we also in a sense where it's not gonna be like that. But we also are gonna be busy with things, with business. We're gonna be busy with ministry. We're gonna be busy that, so when we're apart, we're gonna come together and miss each other. My number one, and I keep hearing this from y'all, and I get it, y'all. I get it 1000%. But my number one thought process when going into a union is not being by myself or, what I'm saying, having that time to be by myself, or all of that. Like that was done in the singleness. My thought process is being with my bae. Where is my bae? Bae. Bye you.
And
Bye
let's
you, bae.
and let's just say,
Hurry up.
as far as
Come find
we
me.
are done with part 1 of breaking LeChelle's shell. By the way,
It's a lot in
part
here,
1,
Jesus.
just part 1.
Let's break Simone's shell. Let's get on in there. Let's get the dig going. Let's get that gold.
Breaking Simone's cone.
Yeah,
But she-
I love it. Breaking Simone's code. I love it.
Emotional damage.
I love it. I love it.
So
For all my exes, you lost a real one. You know what I'm saying? Okay, my bad. I forgive you though. I forgive you. But they did. All facts.
So through everything you've endured, kind of talked about today, right? What would you give the people that are watching or that may view it?
Get through it and get to it. Meaning the past is the past. We can't do nothing about the past, but your focus should be your future. Your focus should be your present. And let that lie where it lie. Leave it where it's at. And just prepare yourself for the future that you desire to have. Don't ask God for $1 million and you don't know, you haven't, taking some classes or have some type of business plan on how to handle that $1 million. Prepare yourself for the blessings that you're asking God for. Do not say you want a husband and be out here giving your body, giving yourself, giving your time to people that don't line up with the type of a man that wants you to be his wife, or the type of man that you want to be your husband. Don't do that. May your actions be in alignment, with your goals and your desires in life. So, yeah.
And
Walk
with
it
that
out,
being
walk it
said,
out.
this has been the Shine Your Light podcast. Until next time, people.
What's the second part?
There ain't no second part.
What time is it? No, I can interview y'all. So I have a few questions.
I don't know.
It's
We got
5:30.
I don't know. It's
I
about
have
5:30. That's a whole
questions.
hour and a half about her life. Bladder full. I gotta use the bathroom.
No, so I just have a few really, really quick questions, right? So I know that you are in a relationship, Taikisha. I'm gonna ask you a question, because it's still my show, haha. And then I'm gonna ask
Is it really?
these two. I'm gonna ask Tyler Guy and the beautiful Simone a question as well. So Taikisha, you are in a relationship. Please tell me, how did you pick your person?
I picked my person solely off of the what if situation.
Okay.
And that's the honest truth.
I need you to clarify. What's the what if situation? I ain't never heard of that before.
Um,
What if this was the one? But it had to be something that my grandma calling, Lord.
So I'm not gonna go all into the detail because I
Okay.
don't have that confirmation from her to
Permission,
even go
you
in
got-
there.
Okay.
But to sum the story up, how we met was so weird. It was a hard coincidence. And I looked at how we met and how everything lined up, and I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a chance. The thing with me is like I don't have these like set standards of who my person is or where they need to be at. I've accepted the role of not, and I might get in trouble for saying this. I accepted the role to not find my wife in the church, only because I know where I am mentally, spiritually, and the person that's in the church, I don't know. Maybe it's my experience and my history, but they are not where I need them to be. So my thing is I've accepted the role that God gave me was to find someone outside of church and to bring them in. And with my experience, I have been ministering to people and things. Not everybody I come across I try to talk to or anything like that. But the way this coincidence, how it lined up so perfectly, it was so crazy.
No such thing as coincidences. Keep going.
Right. So long story short, for anybody that don't know, my other half is from Minnesota.
Okay.
And literally, I want to say the month that me and my younger sister we were going down to Minnesota, just some way, like for some reason, we're going down there for like a wrestling event or something like that. So it's just like it's that kind of coincidence that I meet somebody in a whole other state. So from that, you know, everything went forward, and this is where I am. So
I love
and
it.
even in being in this, God has told me some things and you know confirmed some things. So I believe that we're definitely down the path that we're supposed to go down.
I
So.
love it. I love it. That's a new job, yeah. That's a new job. What I took from that is I need to travel more. I need to travel more.
So that's probably some of the best, like probably one of the best ways to meet someone. I think that like when you're kind of like in the used to an environment and to a space, you know, like kind of everybody's the same, everybody's doing the same, and in large part that's why I stay in the house. But when I travel, but
which is
when
what the
I
show is supposed to be about, balancing your indoor and outdoor life. Go ahead.
But when I do travel, I do explore, you know, I do go around and it's kind of different. It's just a different environment of people. The energy is different. The atmosphere is different, you know, so you can be different. You can be you, you know, in
Right.
that
That's
space. So
facts.
I definitely
do.
recommend traveling more.
Yeah, I do feel like my husband is here, which is crazy, which is absolutely crazy.
Milwaukee?
I know, right?
Born and raised.
Good
Good luck with that one, Lord.
That's crazy,
Like
God.
the dusty
Like,
ones.
A lot of people
the
be
numbers
like, why
are
you haven't-
increasing.
a lot of people like-
Nobody wanna see us together.
a lot of people be like, why you haven't left Milwaukee? And I just God keeps telling me unfinished
My
business.
husband.
Unfinished. I really do believe he's here.
My
Unfinished,
precious.
but maybe not. I don't know. I don't know, Lord. But we do got
In
some
the
good men here.
mill.
We got some good women here because I'm one of them.
Wisconsin.
You know, and
I'm
Simone
saying
is
They got
too.
black people in Wisconsin.
Shut the front door.
I'm seeing a bald man.
Shut the front door.
I am
So
seeing a bald man.
a bald man, he gotta have a beard. He's not bald though.
I'm
He's not
seeing a
bald.
bald man.
I wouldn't mind a bald man with a beard.
I'm
He gotta have a beard though.
I'm seeing a bald man.
Spalding.
That's all I got to tell you.
You're seeing
I'm
it.
seeing
Like
a
you're seeing
bald
my
man.
husband, like for real.
That man is bald.
Call him now.
Like
That man is bald.
with a beard, do you have beard?
I don't know about that.
Like bald everywhere?
That man bald. It's a head.
You just sound like a 5-year-old girl.
Oh, no. No.
Is that really the case?
Lord,
That
let's
mama
talk about
side.
it. Let's talk about
You
it,
the one to shy away
Jesus.
from. No.
Don't be prophesying, Tyke. Have
Bald.
me looking
You
for
hear
a
me?
bald. No,
Bald.
don't say that. He has hair.
We'll
I
revisit
don't
this
mind,
show a
though.
couple years from now.
Yes, I don't mind a bald man. I love a bald man with a beard
Because-
that's actually in right standing with God. Because I know a couple that are not. Wait, what'd you say?
Ain't no hair on the top of that head.
What did you seeing? Like was that a vision that you just
You only
were
seeing
seeing?
what's above the surface. All scalp. All scalp.
Lord. Jesus.
Turtle.
Lord. I cannot with y'all.
I see it.
Okay, so for the beautiful Simone, and then we can wrap it up, y'all. The beautiful Simone and Ty the Guy, who are absolutely great candidates to date and marry.
That's crazy.
Don't nobody want me. I'm. that's
They
it
all
off
want you,
top.
Ty the
I'm-
Guy.
Don't nobody want me.
They all want you, Simone. Why? Because
I got
they
broken
know.
up with today, and all type of. Don't nobody want me.
Wait, what
Play
happened?
the all thing.
Right, that's the biasness. When
I
a
wasn't
man
even-
going through,
I was
His
stuck. I was
feelings.
stuck on making sure I was shutting down my side of things. Because
What happened?
I feel like
It's
LeChelle be
sentimental
geeking
right
y'all
there.
head a little bit. She
Yeah.
making y'all feel like
Kings. They kings.
maybe if I just try a little harder.
right?
I just told you earlier in the show that men are conquerors.
Oh, that's true. But I'm telling you, I can see the wolves. I can see the wolves in sheep clothing. I can see the bears, the tigers, and the lions. I can see all of them, Jesus. But what
That's
happened? Why
crazy.
she break up with you? Was she tired of trying to reach up to your
I-
standards?
I do too much. I say too much. I can't keep my mouth closed. I gotta direct. Like I gotta correct. And if it's not, you know what I'm
You
saying?
nitpick.
Like, I would call it nitpicking. Actually, I think it's order. It's
Okay.
order. Really, it's order.
So you was with a woman that didn't like to listen.
It's probably not the listening part. It's just the more of reaction than response.
Okay.
Basically, it was more of like, that's what's like the understanding, not that I just decided to say that, y'all, to make this about me for the moment.
Yeah.
It ain't really got nothing to do with nothing. But I see how she was super dived into that one. Thought it was going to be about me today, and it's
I don't
not.
want to know your business. I want to know your
fooled
journey.
y'all.
This was LeChelle's.
Y'all.
Look at her
We
over
just
there.
listening to him talk.
Yeah, I want to know what happened.
People are waiting for it, but you're gonna keep waiting. Gotta keep waiting. But basically, for me, in terms of dating and things like that, of course, I'm allowing time and grace for things in my life to grow, and it doesn't mean that I'm not willing, to grow with an individual, because I am, but also to us coexisting matters.
Right.
It matters a lot, because if we can't coexist in this type of stage, we won't be able to coexist in a
powerful.
marital type of stage. And that's what matters to me. When he said two dwelling together unless they agree. Oftentimes, like I said, for me, that word dwell is permanent placement. And if you're going to have a permanent placement in my life, we need to be able to coexist. And
Right.
you don't have to agree with everything that, I say or whatever, but respect me enough,
Right.
as much as I would respect you. We grow from there. But definitely, I am a man. So there's a lot of stuff that comes with dealing with a man, being with a man. And for me, as far as having that woman, understanding matters.
Right.
Being willing to listen, and not be offended by everything, but being able to receive what is being said and take it into consideration. And if it's something that that is going to benefit you personally, apply it.
Right.
That's it.
I do feel like for you, Tyler Guy, like a lot is required to be with you. So a lot of
She
no,
tried to- I
listen,
got
like
this
a lot
list.
of no. I feel like you come with so many blessings,
Mm.
that you also come with challenges as well. But those challenges, kind of like pull a person to be her best self. Same with me. I'm not going to be with a man that being in his company makes me less than in any way, shape, or form. I say this over and over. One of the ways I'm going to know my spouse is that he's also pushing me to become my best self. So for you, I feel like whoever that woman is going to be a challenge, but there's so many blessings attached to it. The blessings outweigh the challenges. My question to you before I go to Simona, we can wrap it up. My question to you is, what type of understanding are you looking for? What's that understanding, that's needed?
Well, to understand something, because I remember I was just talking to someone recently, like they were like what's the difference, like when you know something, and understanding. I'm like, well, it's like knowledge is basically information, right? And that information is no good to you if you don't understand it.
Right.
Like that's understanding.
So you want her to understand the word? Like, what do you want her to understand about you?
It's the process. It's the consideration, in it. Like, for instance, and again, if I'm going to be connected to someone, it's going to have some time, in there. So
Right.
to just know me for who I am, right? Even if you don't agree with what is being said, understand me for who I am.
And know that it's coming from a good place.
Exactly.
Okay.
Know
I
that
got
that's
you.
who I am. That's
I
my
got
heart.
you.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's not ever to attack you.
Right.
It's to build you,
Right.
and
I
I've
can
been
see
in
that.
situations where, like what you said with women, having to do a lot. I've been like on dates and stuff, and women first impression, they would say, you come out very intimidating. I haven't said not one word. Like no one word, but they feel that aura and that energy. Like, and I was just curious at a couple of times, like, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by intimidation? They like, well, I feel like with you, I'm going to have to, be like
Step my game
myself.
up.
Yeah, like I have
Yeah.
to grow. I'm like, you're not going to just accept anything.
Right.
And I said that's a good assessment because I'm not.
Because it's true. Yeah, it's true. I've never felt intimidated by you. Never. I've never felt intimidated. I've always felt safe.
Mm.
I feel a lot of women might be intimidated because you can't help but to see them.
Right.
You're gonna
Mhm.
see whatever it is,
Mhm.
the need for growth, the imperfections, the best things about them. When you operating in that God-like light,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, in that spirit, you're going to see them. You can't help it. So
Right.
to be in a position to be seen is very vulnerable to a woman.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's
I've been
that's the
told that a lot too.
intimidation.
Yeah.
Right. Because other people are just looking at them like a piece of meat and just flesh. And
Yeah.
you're looking at the whole being.
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't used to that.
And Simone is
Oh, I gotta be a
she has
person
been
now.
she has been like a guardian in my life. Her and
Yeah,
Courtney,
I
I call
love
them
it.
my guardians. They have kept a lot of women like away, like vultures.
Mhm.
They're very particular, you know,
Yeah,
who they
as
allow
should be.
around, and they'll call it out like very fast
ASAP.
and very quick. And
Especially because I've been there before.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we
So-
finna head over to
You
you.
ain't coming with nothing new.
We finna head over to
nothing
you.
new.
We Miss Binda. We finna head over to you. Go ahead.
So I said that to say that a lot of things that they like do and look out for me and things like that. When a woman does come in the picture, they always see that and feel threatened. Like, well, what do you need me for? See, that's what I look at, because if you feel like who you are, you know what I'm saying, just not, I don't look at what you provide in terms of all the carnal things, the actions and things like that. I can do all those things myself. I've always been a better cook. I can wash my own clothes. I can take care of me. That's not a problem. You know, it's the inner work. That's what I'm looking at. It's the inner work. And if you feel like you can't bring that, you can't do the work behind that, then yes, you are not the woman for me. It's just that simple.
It's powerful.
And this is why I
Powerful.
said he's making it hard for y'all. Both of them is making it hard for y'all, because if you ain't coming with this type of energy, it's like I don't know. It's a blessing and a curse, honestly, because it's like it makes me not even want to give nobody the time of day.
Much is given, much is required.
And I don't
Like-
deal with loneliness because I enjoy it very much.
It's required. It's required.
He said to whom I'm not gonna say what you just said. Say it on the mic, Jesus.
Much is given, much is required.
Amen.
Mhm.
Amen.
So if
So
you
see-
want this man, requiring some things that's gonna have to happen.
And you necessarily don't have to put in the work. I am not forcing you to. I am.
right.
At
all
all.
that.
At
If it's
all.
not for you, it's
just
cool
not,
with me. I
that's
can
okay.
accept that and be okay. I can actually still be cool with people like
Literally,
that. Like,
yeah.
so
Listen.
it's who I am.
My goal is to get to the top of the mountain. I had to climb this mountain to get to the top. I'm gonna need you to climb this mountain too and meet me at the peak. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Do your work, you know, to get there. You know,
Right.
meet me at the top. Meet me at the top. Everybody climb. That's your journey. You know what I'm saying? Climbing that mountain is your journey in life. You know, you're gonna give up and fall, or you're gonna put the effort that's needed
Right.
and required to
Right.
get you where you need to be.
There's
and
a lot
at
fell by
peak.
the wayside.
Amen.
Mhm.
Amen. Many are called,
And you
but
can't
few
sit
are
with
chosen.
us
Amen. All facts.
disrespectfully.
That's
Right.
Dang. Say it. Wait. Say it again, Simone.
You can't sit with us disrespectfully.
For real. For
Dang.
real.
That is that. Yeah.
Take it.
Ooh, yes. There's some fire at the table today. So the beautiful Simone, let me go ahead and wrap it up.
Okay.
Because I know, for one, you are very covered, right? You're covered by great men in your life. You're covered by great women in your life. And like you said, your standards and the bar is very high with you.
Mhm.
What would you say? Ooh, okay, Lord. What would you say are some things that you do allow grace for?
Ooh.
I know, right? I felt it too.
Be specific.
Did she just have a hot flash on?
Right.
She got-
Gotta get into me, please. Please.
Be specific.
Like,
What
what
do you
would
mean?
you be? What would you be willing to allow grace for? Whether it's financially, whether it's I guess financially, the level that they are in their professional life, whether it be kids wise, whether it be we already know you're not allowing for grace when it comes to the spiritual relationship with God. We got that.
Mhm.
What are some other outwardly things that you would say you would allow grace for?
Well, And this is someone that's looking to be with me, or
Yes.
we're already together.
No, looking to be with you.
Looking to be with me. Okay. You definitely don't need any ties to you. And by ties, I mean like I'll always funny story, because I actually tell my brother who's looking for someone to ask his females that he go on a date with the same question. Are you with anyone? Is anyone with you?
That's really
Because
good.
I think going through this day and age, there's a lot of, like, we talk about emotional women. Like I said, I've been there before. I've been that emotional woman before. And having that mentality of, yeah, we're not together, but we're together. Or we're not together, but there's a tie there. There's some extra there. That's a very sticky situation. And not to say that it would be his fault, but if you're unaware of it, that's a little scary to me. So I think that's kind of something that's a little shaky for me.
Okay.
But if you have the God thing down with me, to be completely honest, the woman that I am growing to be, there's a lot of, like, I'm really not worried about a lot, honestly, because
So-
if you're building your relationship with God correctly, and your goal is to walk upright with God, then there's a lot of things that's gonna fall off on their own.
Right.
So I'm really not worried about a lot of the other things.
Everything. I love that.
Yeah.
High five, hand clap, and then I'll tell you what I was gonna say. And what I saw when you said that is that a lot of these men right now are dating. They are dating other people, you know. But if God gives y'all that confirmation, like you said, things will just fall into place. So you would allow grace in an instance like that. And the reason why I said that is because when I talk about my person, I'm not talking about how much money he has to make. I'm not talking about you know, the type of house that he has to have, or how he dresses, or how he needs to look. Although I do believe he's gonna be chocolate with a beard. He's not bald. The person I have a crush on is not bald. That's why I keep saying that.
See, that's why you need to let us know so we
That ain't
can
the one.
invite it.
Ladies,
He
Like,
probably
are
is the
y'all
one.
with anyone?
That's okay.
Not
I
the
still
one.
crush on
And they
him.
don't know it yet.
He's
It's
gonna-
giving claims.
Maybe he'll be bald later.
Accountable.
Maybe he's not bald. Maybe he's not bald now, but he'll be bald later. So
Right, he might about to say he might cut his head off. You never
He
know.
bald
So,
in the present.
although we have high standards, those standards are primarily spiritual
They're
requirements.
my standard isn't high based on carnality. My standard isn't high based off of natural things. If you find yourself trying to achieve these natural goals like that's going to work, you're going to fail, because that's not my goal.
Amen.
My goal is the inner part. All of these things will fall into place naturally when you already have the mentality to be the best version of you,
Right.
to be the upright God version of you. Whatever God has for you, if your goal is to just get what God has for you, you're not going to be worried about all of these natural things. So I'm not worried about those either.
Amen.
Right.
I love it. Hand clap, queen. Hand clap.
Mhm.
Okay. One more question. One more question. This is for you too, Tyler. I'm gonna stick to Simone on this one. Your husband ain't at home in your house, right? He could be, but he's not.
She always try to pull.
He's not.
She
He
first
ain't
trying
at
to
home in your house, right? You got to get outside.
Somebody
You
come
have
look
to
at these.
be.
It's just crazy, man. Sugar cookies.
What you talking about?
Watch it. I'm finna shut it down. Watch it.
Come on, son.
Shut it down. Watch
Don't
it.
shut it down. Build it up.
Come
Build
on.
it up, Lord. I be trying to hook people up. But no, like, would you say you're putting yourself like in position to meet him? Are you getting out? Are you mingling?
That's my thing. That's why I said my goal right now. Okay, my goal right now is not to meet no one. That's not
Okay.
my intentions at all. Like,
Okay.
that's
Which
why I
is usually
said,
when it happens. But
yeah, my mindset is to get myself where I need to be. Like I said, I have this mindset of, if I'm the best version of me and you come and you add yourself to whatever I have going on, I don't want any problems to be on me. That's my
Right.
goal. Like,
Right.
if we fail, we're not failing because of me.
Right.
You know? Or if there's a problem, the problem isn't because of me. Because
Right.
aspire to be the best version of me. I aspire to be who God created me to be. Now, how God works, and I'm very aware that God works this way, is just because I don't go out and mingle doesn't mean that I can't meet anyone, and that doesn't mean that God isn't going to bring me anyone.
Right.
Because guess what? I still got to live. I
Right.
still got to go to work.
Right.
I still got to go to the grocery store. I still got to get gas. I still got to go to the bank. And these are all places that if I'll say God was to bring someone my way and say, hey, this is you, or hey, give this a chance, then I'm very aware that it was meant to be for that reason. But I don't have a goal to go and do that. So y'all are not gonna find me in the club. Y'all not gonna find me in specific
Right.
places. Y'all are not gonna find me in Home Goods. Y'all are not gonna find me in the hardware store. Trying to look for
Her
somebody.
last guy though found her on social media,
Very true.
and then they known each other from the past. They rekindled, and it was all going to hell. I was
Very
like,
true. Very true.
Lord have
That was
mercy.
definitely the
Which is why she's so keen on
Emotional
herself and her growth, because it was a bad space for her,
Yeah.
during that time.
I know.
that
I
was
understand
that was my absolute lowest. Absolute
Mhm.
lowest. I vowed to not ever allow myself to get that low again.
Okay, and you never will.
And I
And
will
you
not.
never will. And I thank God for who you are in my life, and I thank God for just who you are, period, because you're a
Thank you.
shining light. And you always teach the people.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
I am
you.
excited to see who her husband gonna be, Lord. But I do believe, like you just said, it's we meet them in a state where we're not necessarily looking for them. Now, mind you, again, we can pick a man, right? We're not looking for a man. We want to be found by the man that God has for us. In order for that to happen, my personal beliefs, we need to be in alignment, with that man. We need to be in alignment. We need to be on the same level that he is. I know my husband is at a very high level. I'm not looking lower. I'm looking, up high.
Hey, not Abigail. She went to Saul like, look, I
Anybody
want
got
him right
time.
there. I want David. I'm going to
Anybody got
this is
time.
what
Anybody got
like
time. I truly
Abigail
believe
was
it,
not
though.
playing no games.
I
She got
truly
exactly
believe
what
it.
she wanted.
I truly believe it. And
So
I'm
some of
big
you
on
women
attracting
can be an
what you
Abigail.
are. I'm really big on attracting, the principles and the laws that are in the universe, and that law of attraction. Absolutely, you are going to attract like what you are
Mm.
in the level that you're at. You're going to attract all type of things, but you truly are going to attract, that level of man, because you're on that level. So the final question is y'all thoughts about social media. Do y'all feel like it's a negative? Do y'all feel like it's a positive? Do you feel like you can meet your spouse on social media?
Not at all.
think both.
Okay. Both. I think it
So-
takes the
social
It could be a
limitations
negative
off. I
and a
think it takes the
positive.
limitations
Yeah,
off.
social media is so oversaturated.
Mhm.
And not only that, and if that's the indication that you're meeting them from social media, 9 times out of 10 they're doing the same thing in somebody else's inbox, or
Mhm.
I
they're
agree
having
with that.
conversations with others too, because it's so overly saturated. So I wouldn't say that that's the best place to actually meet someone.
Mhm.
It's a terrible place. I
don't
think
think
it's
it's
a
terrible,
it's a
but-
cesspool for the devil's playground. Basically, you going in the devil's territory and just thinking that you're going to find that real
But
God
I'm
love,
in
and
the
that's not the case.
territory, and I
Get
don't
off social
you
media.
understand?
Let me-
no, I don't
let me
think
give you
that's- I
another
don't
reason,
agree
too.
with that 1,000%.
Let me give you another reason too,
Okay.
right? Because if you have the idea like, hey, it's okay if we are dating across social media, or we meet across social media, okay, you're posting and you go, man, I really want my man to have like blue hair, right? And then now you have an inbox full of men with blue hair.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'll just be posting for fun. But no,
Like,
I
you get what I'm
understand.
saying,
Yeah,
though?
I
It's
do.
a tactic,
Yeah.
because
Right.
again, men are conquerors.
Those are those
Mm.
wolves. in
Everybody
sheep
that know her
clothing.
for a year already. I'm
Right.
pretty sure they're on it.
Right.
They
And-
shouldn't be, because trust me when
They
I
on
say
it. They already knew her
if
for
I
a
already
year.
know, nobody around me, no man that I know right now is my husband, except for the possibility of my crush. But not one man
But
is my husband. that's
also
around me. I don't
too,
care how
with
many years we've known
social
each other.
media, it's a facade though. Like, you never truly know someone through social media, because
Mhm.
in my past, the way I was on social media was the total opposite of what I was in real life. Like, in terms of talkative and open
Mhm.
and being here, like, I was never really that way. So where I am now,
Say it on the mic.
my social media aligns with who I am, but in the past that wasn't the case. So
Mhm.
And see,
like, you
that's
just
for
never
you,
know.
but me, I'm my authentic self on social
Right.
media. So I know there's other people that are their authentic selves on
Right
social
now
media.
I am, but it's like it's still a
But there
rarity
are- there-
that you come
true.
across that. So it's like you
Yes.
got to weave through 1,000 faces
Yeah, because I painted
Before
myself
you
to
get
be a
to
little
one
princess,
person. So
and I was not.
I'm just
that.
not willing to give the energy. So
I'm
You
on
are that.
sports and God, and that's all
Right.
I am.
Right, and you're
Sports
that
and
on
God.
and on social media, and
I don't believe in entertaining conversations from it or
Right.
anything. I understand what the intentions is, and it's just a strict cutoff because
Right.
again, you just see as long as you go is like just not a good idea. And I told you kind of one of those experiences, like it just showed me like I made a good decision not to get involved with that because
oh yeah, I remember that.
it just was
We
100%
didn't
out
approve
of
her.
out of touch. So and she had a lot of
I
other
didn't
great
approve her.
qualities, you know, that I was looking like, okay, this can be, but I was like, yeah,
It's
that
5:55,
no.
y'all. Is it 5:55?
Yeah.
That's an insider. Okay. Anywho, it's 5:55, y'all. Yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up here, y'all. Is there any other advice, anything that y'all learned, you know, in life in the dating process that you want to feed the people, you want to give to the people? Feed them good, y'all. Feed them good, y'all. Come on, Tykeesh.
The best way to be seen is to be hid.
Facts.
Really, that's
The thing is, if you hide yourself, God sees you. And even the Bible, it always speaks about the theme of doing stuff in secret, and He'll reward you openly. So
Right.
even if the people out there, if y'all looking for a spouse, don't look for one.
Mhm.
Don't look for one.
Yes.
Don't show yourself to look for one or nothing. Work,
Mm-hmm.
work,
Right.
and while you working, gotta see you.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So-
I believe my husband is going to come to me through the process of me pursuing my purpose. Somewhere along that journey, you know, or that line, that's when he's going to come into my life as I'm pursuing my purpose. So I 1000% agree with that as well. Pursue your purpose. You know what I mean? Pursue the goal to make yourself and God proud of you. Right. And I feel like you'll draw God's best for you to you. Because it's okay if you have that desire, y'all. It's absolutely okay. It's not okay to be thirsty. All right. Amen.
Right.
Amen.
Preach.
Drink some water, Jesus.
There was no button for that, so I used my voice.
Anybody else? I agree with
We
that,
need a back
Tykeesh.
button.
I'm gonna have to cut that
Facts.
up and make a clip. All right. Anybody else?
Allow time. Don't let the pressures of the world push you into a position that you're not ready for. Allow time.
Mhm.
Discover who you are, and in you doing that, then you can discover who that person is along the way.
Mhm.
Be who you are in the process and allow the process. Every time I hear people, everything is so quick now. Everything is so quick served, like microwave food. Now they got the air fryers. Like it's so many
Mhm.
things that evolved in. What we
Don't
live
knock
in
my
today
air
is just.
fryer.
I mean, it's
Love
good.
air
It's
fryer.
it's good, but
More healthier for this.
Yeah. it's
Right.
healthier.
but then I enjoy the process of when I'm getting that. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm
Nice
prepping everything and
home cooked
like I enjoy
meal.
that process, you know,
Yeah.
and it means much more to me when I put more into it, you know,
That's
than just
true.
throwing it in there and letting it do the work for me. So that's what I'm saying. Like allow the process and don't allow the pressures of the world to put you in any situation that you're not ready for.
Ooh, powerful.
I feel like I haven't spoken to the ladies for a while. So message for our ladies out there. Do
Message.
not allow these men to conquer you.
Conquer, not conquer, y'all.
That's
You
really
should feel safe with your person. Go ahead.
You should feel safe. It should not be a game. It should not be no extras. And protect yourselves. You know, don't allow the loneliness. Don't allow the feelings of wanting to be with someone. Don't allow the time factor. All of these things. Don't allow any of these things to bring those men who are just looking to conquer what you put there. And honestly, the Steve Harvey mentality, putting a date, a time, that doesn't work, y'all.
Right. God's time.
That's not gonna work.
God's time. Amen.
Act like a lady, think like a man. No, think like a woman
Think
and
like
be a woman.
woman.
That's it.
Amen.
Be a woman, y'all.
We love you, Steve Harvey. Though
Steve
We
Harvey
love
got
you.
y'all
We
out here
understand where
acting
you
like
was-
men.
We understand what you was trying to do though, Steve Harvey. We do understand, but
He ruined everything.
Man,
no, we understand because he was trying to just help the lady out,
Pushing
ladies
the
out.
agenda.
He was trying to help them out.
Help him with the truth. Don't become
Don't become
the guys
man.
that's out here that
Yeah.
try to women this and women this the whole
Mhm.
time. Just be
Yeah.
honest. Be a
And
woman. Act like a woman.
I guarantee y'all, like you're gonna come across this new age men talking about the toughness of women and things of that sort. But I
Exactly.
guarantee y'all the femininity that is so rare in this day and age,
Yes.
that is what is going to
Yes.
attract the man that you actually
Yes.
want.
Yeah.
no bull daggers.
Yes.
I love it. Hand clap for you, Queen. And like the beautiful Simone said, if you feel yourself not being in that position of, being and thriving in your feminine energy when you're with that person, that's probably not your person. If you got a man up against your man, that's probably not your person, boo. You should feel safe with your partner. You should feel covered with your partner, and you should be in a position where you trust your partner, not that you have to defend yourself against them. Right. So those are key factors for y'all to kind of look at and identify whether you're with the right person or not. First and foremost, or finally, all that good stuff, second, third, fourth, and fifth, don't do not give yourself, ladies, to a man out of loneliness, especially if you don't see yourself being with this man or see yourself dating with this man. It's too many of y'all. It's too many of y'all out here with these midnight wonders. It's too many of y'all out here with these midnight wonders, saying you want a good man, saying you want to be married, saying you want to be
They
Mm-hmm.
taking
in a
pride in it
relationship,
too.
and you out here entertaining temporary pleasures that are no good for you. So pursue your best, pursue God's best for your life, and just become a light in the world, y'all. We have to be a light for each other. Right. Amen. We have to be a light for each other. So the only way you can do that is by becoming the best version of yourself in this world and influencing the people around you to do the same. We appreciate y'all for coming to the show, y'all, and we appreciate y'all for watching the Shine Your Light podcast. Until next time, deuces. I don't know if I'm doing it right. Bye.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's crazy.
One more. Bye. No, just kidding. All right. I don't know. Oh, okay. Production.